It's bad now, but not at all like 1929.
The unemployment was about 60% or more. And they were saying about when your neighbor's out of work, that's a recession. When you're out of work, it's a depression. And that was true.
Well, the depression in the 20s and early 30s didn't bother us much because we raised our own food, most of it.
My name is Joseph A. Furman. I am 93. Will be 94 this coming September. I was born and reared in East Chicago in 1915. Happy birthday to you, God's above you.
Well, I'm Josephine Schöttl, and I was born in Germany, in Esslingen, in 1909, December 31st.
Keep the joy bells ringing while we're all singing happy birthday.
When I was born was 1917, on the 17th of September. I'm Arthur Ailes, and I was born in an old shack.
We didn't have a thing. I didn't know whether we should go back to Germany or stay here. That was a decision to make, but we stood here.
Really, everything was at a standstill. That's a good word for it. The economy was at a standstill. Work was at a standstill. Everything was at a standstill.
It was bread lines and what have you, you know. Everything was rationed.
When the shoes wore out and there were holes on the bottom, we had cardboard paper put in there. Really, cardboard paper. And we wouldn't dare walk in the snow.
What my dad told me, I know. People jumped out of their haymow windows trying to kill themselves so they didn't have to go through it.
Fall in October was something else.
He said you got to live with things that you have to face, and that was one of them people, I guess, couldn't face.
It was devastating. People had to stand on corners finally and sell apples for 5 cents, would you believe it, just to buy a loaf of bread.
Whatever you had in the bank was gone. The government didn't guarantee you at that time your savings.
Life was just unbearable, you know, and you often wondered, where is that light at the end of the tunnel? It kept getting smaller instead of.
And if there's anything, I don't care what it is, just like my dad said, everything goes up and everything's going to come back down. But people don't realize that.
It's part of life that you should never go through. And I wish that we don't ever have that, because these kids today won't understand it.
We just had to do with whatever we could get, with a couple of cents that my husband made at the time. We couldn't afford anything.
We didn't have the money to buy butter. My mother, what she did was she rendered the salt pork, and that was the butter, would you believe it? That was rough. I mean, we had to borrow clothing, shared clothing from neighbors, and talk about, you couldn't even get your car to moving, even though the gasoline was 5 cents a gallon, you know. You didn't have it, it was tough, but you had to make do, as they say.
It is much easier now. It's bad now, but Lord behold, I hope it's not going to be like 29. It never is.
I don't even want
Not
people
now.
to even think about living through those days. You know, that's why I say, please don't think of it as a depression. You know what you're talking about. And I only touched on it.
But I'm happy with what kind of a life I've had. Lived a good long time. But I've had some rough times in it.
And in my 99 years, I went through thick and thin, but we got through it. You know, in your life, you have not all the sunshine. There's some rain, and we had quite a bit of that.
And your heart with love ring
our lives.
true. Keep the joy bells ringing while we're all singing happy birthday to you.